واهلا بكم في الحلقة الثانية في سلسلة تعلم الانجليزي بالروايات. راح ناخذ قصة مستر هارجروفز Disappearance وراح نتعلم من خلالها اللغة الانجليزية. لأنه بكل بساطة لما تسمع وتقرا الرواية مخك مو بس قاعد يقرا او قاعد يسمع، هو قاعد يتخيل الاحداث كمان، والقصص دائما ترسخ في المخ حسب ابحاث كثيرة. وهذه هي الحلقة الثانية من هذه السلسلة. الحلقة الماضية كانت اول حلقة وسألتكم عن فيدباككم وكل واحد قال عبد الرحمن لازم تكمل، فعشان كده قاعد اكمل. فيلا نهجم على الروايه، وبعدها حنراجع على اهم الكلمات اللي اخذناهم في الروايه، وبعدها حيكون عندك تحدي تركيز عشان نشوف قديش كنت مركز معايا. فيلا let's jump into it.
In the quiet town of Willow Creek, where every day was soft and calm, the vanishing of Mr. Hargrove caused a wave of questions. He was not just anyone, he was the town's smartest person, a maker whose new things made everyone amazed and curious. But one morning, his making place was found empty, with the door locked from the inside and no sign of Mr. Hargrove. I, with my two best friends, Jake and Chris, couldn't ignore the mystery in front of us. Mr. Hargrove was our hero, a man who made ideas into amazing things. His missing felt like a hole in our small world, and we chose to become detectives. Our first hint was the making place itself. It was full of new things, with plans all over and machines not finished. The center of the room had Mr. Hargrove's newest work, a machine that looked like a tiny sky full of stars, with planets moving in perfect circles. Yet, there was no sign of Mr. Hargrove or any clue of where he might have gone. We asked the town people, each one with their own stories and secrets. Mr. Peabody, the food seller, talked about seeing Mr. Hargrove thinking hard by the water. Tommy, the boy who delivers newspapers, remembered bringing a big pile of science books to Mr. Hargrove's house just before he disappeared. But it was the town's new bookkeeper, Mr. Thomas, who gave us the most interesting hint. He was a quiet man, lost in his books and keeping the town's small book place in order. When we asked about Mr. Hargrove, his eyes showed he knew something, and he told us to look not for a man who wanted to be found, but for one who wanted to hide. Confused by his words, we watched Mr. Thomas, seeing what he did and liked. Soon, we found his odd love for books about being alone and the good in a hidden life. It was strange for a man with so many stories around him to want to be alone. Our big clue came by chance. While helping Mr. Thomas with new books, we found a secret spot in an old bookcase. Inside, there were letters to us, the young people of Willow Creek, talking about being curious and loving adventure, but signed with a fake name we didn't know. Putting it all together, we faced Mr. Thomas with what we found. With a tired smile, he took off his glasses and told us the truth. Mr. Thomas was really Mr. Hargrove, tired of how people saw him and the weight it put on him. Deep down, he wanted a simple and calm life, to enjoy quiet times, and to inspire without being famous. He chose to disappear, taking a new name as Mr. Thomas, to live with his beloved books and to quietly push the curious minds of Willow Creek from afar. We agreed to keep his secret, understanding his wish for quiet. Mr. Hargrove's disappearance stayed a puzzle to the town, but for Jake, Chris, and me, it was a lesson in seeing things from others' views. We found out that sometimes people don't want to be found, but to find themselves in the quiet places of the world, where they can surprise and inspire in the most unexpected ways.
وكذا خلصنا القصة. فيلا دحين نيجي ناخذ أهم الكلمات اللي أخذتها في الرواية عشان تثبت إن اللغة كلها تيجي بالتكرار.
Where was the first clue found that led to solving Mr. Hargrove's disappearance? B. In his workshop. Who gave the most significant hint about Mr. Hargrove's disappearance? C. Mr. Thomas the bookkeeper. What did Mr. Hargrove, under his new identity, Mr. Thomas, express through hidden letters? C. Messages about being curious and loving adventure. What did Mr. Hargrove desire by changing his identity to Mr. Thomas?
That's amazing. هذا كان بالنسبة لحلقة اليوم. فأبغى متحمس إنه يعرف هذه الحلقة الثانية من هذه السلسلة. هل تبغوني فعلا نكمل؟ أفكاركم اقتراحاتكم اكتبوها تحت بليز. وغير كذا إذا حاب إنك تدبل استفادتك من هذه الرواية اسمعها مرة أو شوفها مرة تانية. عيد الفيديو بس بشرط إنك مو عشان تشوف الترجمة انت عارف المعنى اصلا، بس بدل ما يجيك وقت قراءة الترجمة هذا الوقت حاول انك تنطق فيه وتحرك لسانك، فمو بس قاعد تسمع وتقرا، لا كمان ان شاء الله تحرك لسانك وهذا حيطورك مرة كثير. فسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك واشوفكم على خير في امان الله. مع السلامة.